News came out this morning from USDC stablecoin issuer Circle. They were calling off their plans to go public through a special purpose acquisition company that would have valued them at about $8 billion, up to $9 billion, depending on when they were announcing. They're gonna wait on that. They're not gonna do that. That's been canceled, and that's what was announced this morning. Some interesting nuggets in their announcements. A nice thread from CEO Jeremy Allaire, among other things, but them going public, at least through this SPAC, is currently on hold. We'll talk about potentially why right now. Jen, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it would have been optimistic to think that Circle would have been able to get to this IPO by the end of the year, just given the scrutiny that's on stablecoins and the industry because of the events of the last few months. I know in the announcement they said that it was just a lot to get through with the SEC as the SEC kind of becomes a little bit stricter with the application process. So I am not surprised that this IPO is paused, and I'm not surprised that the hoops that they need to jump through with the SEC are maybe a little bit tighter than they thought. That said, I agree with Jeremy Allaire's Twitter thread. I thought that it was great. He said that stablecoins will play a huge part in offering utility value. It made me think back to when we spoke about the World Economic Forum that happened a few months ago. Stablecoins were really a big topic of conversation there, especially when it came to remittances. So I don't think this is bad for stablecoins. I'm not surprised. I think stablecoins will continue to push the crypto narrative forward when it comes to mainstream adoption. And so I read this and I thought, okay, not surprised, but here we are. Wendy, what did you think?
So I've got a lot of thoughts with this. It actually makes perfect sense that they're not going public right now, especially with all the drama that happened via FTX. Another important thing too, I do believe that USDC is one of the native stablecoins for Solana. People like to use that. Solana is under a lot of heat with the FTX debacle. This is off. Well, I guess this is off the record. I don't know. But I do think, well, no, it's on the record because I say it on my show. I really think that USDC is going to be the stablecoin of the US. It's going to be our CBDC. I just kind of a gut feeling I have. I'm happy to be wrong, but I just feel like they have so many big players that are kind of probing into them that they've worked with, et cetera. And it does make sense that they did not go through and become public. Part of the reason being is the SEC is also under a lot of heat with the whole FTX thing too. I feel like a lot of people are in a lot of trouble and there's a whole lot of uncertainty happening. We don't know what's going to happen with regulational clarity when it comes to crypto. We know that we're getting hounded for regulation, but at the same time, the regulation that they want to push through, especially now after the FTX debacle, is not going to be the regulation that we're going to want. So it does make sense that Circle is not going public yet. And they're kind of just taking a step back and trying to explore the waters and seeing exactly what needs to be done. And who knows, maybe they're under investigation as well.
Yeah, interesting stuff here. I don't know about the investigation stuff. I'm sure that a lot of regulators are knocking on a lot of doors in terms of regulated crypto entities are probably getting some check-ins, some friendly check-ins. Hey, you guys got all those funds you say you have? So maybe that's happening, but we do not know that. That's just speculation at this point. I think, you look at USDC, there's like 43 billion in USDC in circulation across a bunch of different chains. So this has become really a foundational element of the crypto ecosystem. And I think, interestingly enough, Jeremy Allaire is out here in his tweet thread sharing some numbers that suggest, that the firm is in relatively good health, right? At a time when many others are crippled and are having a hard go of it. Jeremy Allaire tweeted in his thread that the firm clocked something like 274 million in revenue in Q3, including 43 million in net income. So some interesting numbers that are also out there. Maybe it's to downplay some of the histrionics that could follow an announcement such as this. I know this one was pretty anticipated, right? This was one of the bigger crypto SPACs that we would have seen. We're talking about a $9 billion company that would have hit the public markets by way of a SPAC. Maybe sort of like the optimistic or hopium view is that now Circle can hold off for maybe a direct listing similar to what Coinbase did in April 2021, or maybe a proper IPO even that brings it to the public markets with a bit more fanfare. So it's going to be interesting to see how they weather the storm, how they maintain those reserves, how they keep the business operational until the next bull run, where potentially stablecoins play an even more pronounced role in transacting value, both within chains, across chains, and from chains back to the world of fiat currencies. So Circle certainly a key player, even if the SPAC is called off here on this Monday. Jen, kicking it to you.
Well, I just want to correct myself. I said IPO a lot during my commentary, but it is not an IPO. It is a SPAC. And those are two different ways to go public. So sorry, viewers, for confusing you.